another day is here. Wake up, Belize, we gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize, voice of opinion and place your calling, WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show, my people. Believe our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to WB. And all the things that will happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize, another day is here. Wake up, Belize, we gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, voice of opinion and place your calling, WB. Get up, make every day count, don't waste it, people. Do your part, play a role, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in, WB. Wake up, Belize, another day is here. Wake up, Belize, we gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, voice of opinion and place your calling, WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show, my people. Believe our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize, another day is here. Wake up, Belize, we gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, voice of opinion and place your calling, WB. Wake up, Belize, another day is here. Wake up, Belize, we gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, voice of opinion and place your calling, WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show, my people. Believe our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize, another day is here. Wake up, Belize, we gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, voice of opinion and place your calling, WB. Get up, make every day count, don't waste it, people. Do your part, play a role, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in, WB. Wake up, Belize, another day is here. Wake up, Belize, we gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, voice of opinion and place your calling, WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show, my people. Believe our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make changes. We are the changes.
Good morning, Belize. Welcome to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes for today, Tuesday, the 4th of November 2025. We want to welcome you all to our house. This is where the conversation happens. We call it WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, live on Creme Radio and on XTV. And we want to welcome the listeners of Creme, viewers of XTV, those getting us via their apps or social media streams or simulcast coverage. We're glad you're there. For sure. We're also glad to know you're feeling good, you're healthy. Man, that's the best thing there is. And your energy high, your vibrations positive. Nice. Now, for our interests, we hope your morning is nice, spacious, flexible, because that's what we want. We want you to have the space and time. We know you got things to do, most people, to start the day. Unless you're on vacation or something like that. You got heavy load in the mornings, but we want a part of it, and so we hope you have enough space that you could link with us, get involved, get engaged, and be a part of it. Before we jump into the main event, we've got to serve up a bit of the morning news, stories making the headlines today, and also get the latest update from the National Meteorological Service. We turn to the Met. We turn to forecaster Catherine Camerbats to tell us what kind of weather we can expect over the next 24 hours.
Morning Belize, a mild northerly airflow prevails. The 24-hour forecast for Belize and her coastal waters calls for variable cloudy skies today, and high temperatures are expected to reach 84 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 87 inland and 77 over the mountains. Tonight, the skies will be cloudy at times with low temperatures of 73 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 66 inland and 62 in the higher elevations. Showers will be little to none during the morning hours. Then by afternoon and night time, expect a few light showers or the chance for an isolated thunderstorms to develop mainly offshore and along coastal areas. The winds will blow first from the north to northwest at 5 to 10 knots. Then by afternoon, the winds will blow from the northeast at 5 to 15 knots. The sea state will be slight. A high tide will occur at 12 minutes past 9 this morning, followed by a low at 2:40 in the afternoon, and a high will occur at 8:32 tonight and a low at 3:46 a.m. The sun rose at 5:52 this morning and will set at 19 minutes past 5. The moon will rise at 4:36 this evening and set at 5:52 tomorrow morning. The outlook for Wednesday and Wednesday night is for cloudy spells along with a few light showers or isolated thunderstorms to develop mainly along the coast and offshore. In the sargassum forecast, latest satellite observation show a few small sargassum motes beyond the Barrow Reef. The forecast suggests that a few of these mats will drift towards northern coastal areas during the coming days. However, overall impacts are expected to be minimal. And in the tropical weather outlook, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 48 hours over the North Atlantic Basin. And that concludes your morning forecast that was prepared here at the National Meteorological Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
Stories making the news this morning. Delegates and a majority of union presidents within the National Trade Union Congress of Belize convened this past weekend to discuss what they consider as troubling developments regarding the Ombudsman. As we have already reported, the Attorney General is bringing a claim to have the court overturn the Ombudsman findings regarding the release of data under a Freedom of Information request made by activist Jeremy Enriquez to find out how much the government paid private attorneys in his redistricting case. We spoke with NTUCB President Ella Wade.
And the National Trade Union Congress of Belize would like to express our very deep concern and disappointment over the government's decision. Of course, this action represents a direct affront to the principles of what we consider good governance. Principles that you know and that the public know the NTUCB has consistently championed and that the government itself has pledged to uphold its Plan Belize 2020 commitments. So NTUCB, we stand firmly in solidarity with the Office of the Ombudsman, recognizing that this matter is one of significant public interest. The legal cost, which is associated with this case, which Mr. Enriquez has questioned about, is drawn from, as we know, the consolidated fund, and as such, public funds, public money. And we feel that it is not to be hidden, the amount should not be hidden or restricted from public scrutiny. So NTUCB therefore call on the government to immediately reconsider its course of action. The NTUCB will do everything within its power to ensure that this administration lives up to its good governance practices. So we decided last night that we will put the Presenio administration on notice as a national representative of workers and, as usual, steadfast advocate for transparency and accountability. The NTUCB will not remain silent while the government targets an office whose very purpose is to protect citizens' rights, promoting accountability, transparency, and fairness in public administration. The Ombudsman is able to investigate complaints and recommend corrective actions to ensure that public officials are held accountable. The Ombudsman encourages fairness and justice. He is allowed to make public decisions fairly, impartially, and with respect for other people's rights. Ensure that he does the proper investigation, advise on systematic changes. He can identify, which may be this case, patterns of bad administration and recommend policy or procedural reforms to improve how public services and monies are spent. So it is well within his rights to have requested that information. We don't see that he erred.
It says they deem the move to be completely logical and put the government in notice that they will rally their membership to ensure they understand the importance and urgency of the matter and are prepared to act when called upon.
It's not logical that the very office that you said that you would strengthen, you turn around and now you will take to court. It doesn't make any sense. So we have to ask the question, why? Why would you do something like this? Is it to cover just amount of money that was spent on legal fees? Is it just that, or is there something else? GOB is eliminating our trust in our systems, and that cannot continue.
Now, what would you respond if you are told, well, not just they inflate things and blow things out of proportion because all we are taking the ombudsman to court for is to overturn his decision? It's not to penalize anyone, but simply to overturn that decision that we consider not to be the correct one.
Then I think they need to explain to the public why it's not the correct one and why they feel they need to overturn it, because we do not find that as the reason that they are doing it. Then show us that is the reason you are doing it. I have to add though, Marisol, that with this same issue with the ombudsman that's happening right now, we had written the Prime Minister in September requesting a meeting with him with various issues, and one of them was strictly on the ensuring that we have that we strengthen these oversight bodies. We wrote the Prime Minister asking for a meeting on good governance reforms such as the whistleblowers bill, campaign finance legislation, civil asset recovery, strengthening the capacity and independence of government oversight bodies such as the Office of the Integrity Commission and the Ombudsman Office. That was from September. We sent a reminder letter in October and we still have not gotten a response. So for a government to speak about good governance and don't want to meet with the unions who are advocating for good governance, we find that very shameful.
On Monday, Minister of the Public Service Henry Usher, in fact, framed the issue in that context and said that the media has mischaracterized the AG's intention.
I think that the way the media has characterized this is inaccurate. the Ombudsman made a decision. According to the Ombudsman's Act, if the decision is one that is not agreed to, you can appeal it as a lower court appeal. That is what the Act says. So this is really just an appeal of the decision made. It's not taking the Ombudsman to court. It's appealing his decision to make sure that it is done in accordance with what the law requires. And I don't see any problem with of our government or any entity appealing a decision. So this is just part of that dispute resolution process.
Cabinet Minister Henry Usher says he is satisfied with the decision to forward the Joseph Budner kidnapping file to the Director of the Public Prosecution. He underscored that the Office of the DPP is an independent entity.
Well, the DPP is an independent body constitutionally, and they are the ones responsible for looking to see if any charges should be filed in terms of any incident that happens. So I think that the media has to understand, yes, the DPP is the body that would have ultimately gotten this report, been able to file charges if the DPP feels that charges should be filed. You have to remember too that I think that there's a misunderstanding in terms of independent investigation. We don't have that in our laws. It's not like we could just appoint some kind of independent prosecutor to look at this. That's not what is in our laws. We have had discussions at the cabinet level to look to see if we want to move towards something similar to what Jamaica recently did in terms of implementing an agency that would be able to carry out a type of independent investigation. But I think a lot of times we see what happens in other countries, especially in the US, and we think that that can happen here in Belize as well. Right now, the police are authorized or legislated to carry out investigations. You can also have the Ombudsman carrying out limited investigations if the Prime Minister appoints a commission of inquiry, or if the Senate has a Senate special select inquiry. Those are the types of investigations that can happen. Now, whether you wanted to say that another set of eyes should have looked at the same report, well, that's what the DPP is doing right now. Her office is responsible for looking at this report, determining if further investigations are needed, determining if any charges can be filed based on the report. So that is where we are right now with that.
We pressed Usher about the delay in the case file going over to the DPP due to Cabinet making decisions regarding the case.
Report should have gone to the DPP from the very beginning. It was held up. Wouldn't you now call that interference by the cabinet?
Absolutely not. The report going over to the DPP, it's going now. It's not an interference. It's remember, the public was calling for another set of eyes to look at the document. The Attorney General gave the advice from his department to say, listen, it's the DPP that is constitutionally authorized to look at this report to determine if any charges are to be filed or not. It's not like the report has changed since it was first submitted. So I believe that this is the correct process in terms of what the final outcome should be. The DPP's office should be the one looking at the report to determine if any charges should be filed.
Sir, but this has caused a huge black eye on the department because there are several levels that the public feels have left covered up. In essence, you have the fact that the videos have not been disclosed to the public, and it's been done in other cases, but also that the deletion has happened of footage from those government departments. And also, once the footage was released, you have the surveillance footage, the grainy one. You have one officer who's determined to have been involved. That suggests that he would have been working with other people. How is it that
what you're saying, what you're doing right now is trying to try this case in the media? And I think that is important to understand, that if you really want justice to come out of this situation, if you really want to find out what happened, let the authorized bodies do their work. To have the media trying to try this case, the public trying to try this case. We've already seen instances where one media house had to apologize to two police officers for calling their names. This is the way investigation should happen, and I think it's important. You made an allegation just now that there were deletions. How do you know that?
Because the Public Service Union has said this, and they have their sources.
Well, then you're quoting the Public Service Union, and I'll be very careful how you quote anybody when it comes to making these types of allegations without proof. I'm sure you haven't gotten that type of proof. Your media house has not gotten that type of proof. What is important is if this is the situation, it's important that the constitutional body that should investigate this matter, the DPP's office, is responsible for looking if charges should be filed, that that body be allowed to do its work.
With the police investigation into the kidnapping having been completed by ACP Suzette Anderson, we asked why the original surveillance footage has not been released.
Why is it that there seems to be a cover-up?
So I think let's be very careful with the language that we use, because there is not in any instance a cover-up happening. The Attorney General's ministry gave the advice. The report coming from the officer who carried out the investigation said very clearly that the public information now there is already too much. It's already prejudicing the case. And that's what I'm saying. If you want to see justice done, if you want to really get to the bottom of this, let the authorities that are responsible doing it, let them do their job. We can't try it in the media. We can't try this in public. This is not law and order. This is not something that we see on television. And I think sometimes the media tends to go that route. The information coming out of the media has already prejudiced this case, you know. It has already done that. And so it's important to understand that we have to make sure that the processes are followed and that the investigation reaches its conclusion that it needs to reach.
I think what those in leadership and in governance are not understanding is that a lot of this has played out in the public domain. You had the reaction of the Commissioner of Police, which left a lot to be answered, and he literally lied. We could have put those things together based on how everything transpired. So the public does not have any confidence in the police that they are going to get any proper investigation out of this. No one should have held up the police report. That should have gone to the DPP immediately for the process to follow, but it did not go like that. So there has been...
In terms of the steps taken, again, you're drawing conclusions where you should not draw conclusions. I think that it's important that you give your opinions, fine. I can't agree with everything that you've said. In terms of the steps taken, I think that yes, there were instances when it could have been done more efficiently, it could have been done differently, but
transparently, that is lacking, sir. And you all have gone to the House, amended laws in one sitting, then it's gone to the Senate, so it's taken just a few days. Why is it that for this very important case, for the public, you cannot do the same?
It is important that, remember, it is not cabinet carrying out this investigation. That it is done by the police. The matter is turned over to the DPP as what the Constitution requires, and that the DPP determines if charges need to be filed. In the instance of the Commissioner of Police, that is something that the media, it's fair for you to ask him. When the next time you have an opportunity to ask him why it happened that way. But I think it's something to understand that this investigation is being done in accordance with the law. And that is what is there.
What you've allowed here is for an employee to investigate their boss. Where does that ever happen and yield what it should yield?
Well, I think in every organization you have disciplinary committees that investigate their superiors. So I think that that's not something very unique to this situation. The police are the ones that carry out the investigation. As I explained earlier, you don't have other arms, that other so-called independent investigations in our law. It's something that we're looking at. It's something perhaps we can use the model from Jamaica. It is urgent. It has come up in cabinet already. The AG's ministry is working on it. And now the file is being turned over to the DPP as what the law requires.
Yesterday, Ella Wade, president of the National Trade Union Congress of Belize, rejected the minister's view regarding the investigation conducted by ACP Anderson, which involved her superior, the Commissioner of Police.
This is like comparing apples and oranges. It's two very different situations. This is a national issue. This is an international issue where we are violating international laws. We are violating human rights laws, where we actually take a Belizean citizen, the perception that police was involved and possible higher-ups were involved, and taking that person out of our country into another country that we are not very friendly with. We do not have extradition laws, treaties, and think that that is okay and that can be compared to a disciplinary action or disciplinary procedure that happens in an office. It cannot be compared. And I'm very concerned that he would even say something like that, being he comes from the public service and he's supposed to be the defender of our public servants, our public workers. So no, I totally disagree with him.
Wade also expressed disappointment that the government has chosen not to fulfill its commitment that there would have been an independent investigation.
And we're very disappointed that a promise was made after the NTUCB and other civil society groups requested an independent investigation, and that did not happen. We actually felt disrespected that after that call was made, the Prime Minister said, yes, there would be one, and then that did not happen. And then now we're going to another level with that. That again is good governance, not adhering to good governance, not adhering to promises that you make as a government. And we feel very disrespected. Along with other Belizeans, we're waiting now to see what the outcome will be from the office of the DPP to see what will happen. We don't hold our hopes very high because we already feel that, too much time have passed. We don't know if the evidence, if those videos are still intact. So we're not encouraged by that, but it is a very grave concern. And again, the NTUCB will not just sit by when those results come out. And if it does not favor some kind of solution or some kind of, I don't want to use the word punishment, but some kind of repercussion for who was involved in that, we feel very strongly that our human rights as Belizeans are at stake, so we cannot let something like this pass us by. We will not let up, NTUCB will not let up on this case of a Belizean being illegally taken out of our country.
We asked Wade if the NTUCB is still calling for a Senate inquiry on the Budna kidnapping.
We requested a Senate inquiry into the matter, but when we look back of all the Senate inquiries that happened in the past and no results from them, the members of the Senate were disrespected. We felt short of saying let's 100% go for that and continue to advocate for that. Our concern was just have an independent inquiry. We were hoping that independent inquiry could have involved civil society, even us. But again, nothing happened. It was a promise that was made and it was just pushed aside with the power that government has, I guess, to just push something like that aside and think that nothing will happen, that no one will speak up. But the NTUCB is speaking up and the NTUCB will take action. We are tired of being disrespected. We are tired of not able to meet with those that we need to discuss these issues with. We're tired of good governance just being pushed aside. Everything else takes priority. So we have, like I said before, we met as a Congress and the NTUCB is continuing to meet this week to decide on a way forward.
Minister of the Public Service, Honorable Henry Usher, yesterday told the media that he has not gotten word of the Public Service Union issuing notice of industrial action regarding the Belize Tax Service Department transition into a semi-autonomous revenue authority, SARA. However, he says if that is forthcoming, they remain open to dialogue to find a resolution.
Well, I think that if that is the case, and we haven't gotten any notice, but certainly we want to make sure that we listen to the views coming from the employees from SARA. We know, from the Belize Tax Service. I know that there are some issues being raised with the transition towards the statutory authority. It's something that the government is looking at from the Ministry of Public Service perspective. I've said this before. That we have to make sure that the employees, that the public officers who are working at the Belize Tax Service, that if they choose to go to the wider public service to work in different departments, that we facilitate that as best as possible. You have to remember that this is not a project that came on stream overnight. This is something, a part of the package of reforms for the Belize Tax Service that has been ongoing for the last couple of years, and this is part of that, this is another step in that process. So we'll wait to see if that happens, but certainly we remain open for dialogue with the PSU, with the public officers to make sure that these issues are resolved.
And that brings us to the end of our morning news update here inside the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We are going to take a small break, and when we come back on the other side, we're going to open up for conversation. You're listening to Creme Radio, you're watching XTV. We'll be right back.
Informative, accurate, current information. Crem's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
I'm Randall Friesen and I manage Westbell Produce, better known as Granny's Foods. That's our main brand. So we offer high quality grains, beans, rice, and we also offer corn chips made from 100% locally grown corn. We saw a need for high quality locally produced products. A lot of the best products are being exported, and we said, we need to keep some of the best products here in Belize rather than export everything. Atlantic Bank has helped us achieve our goals by providing the financing for us to be able to launch products faster than we would without the financing that they offer. We find that Atlantic Bank is very customer friendly, especially with small and medium-sized businesses. We find that Atlantic Bank is more than willing to go the extra mile. They try to understand your business. So when we go to Atlantic Bank with a certain need, we find that they try to develop a solution that will meet our specific need. I would encourage any small business owner to go to Atlantic Bank for their financial services. They're very friendly, and just overall, their service is excellent.
Want all the postpaid perks without the commitment? Now you can with Smart Supercharged prepaid plans. All the talk, text, and data you need. No contracts, no hassle. Pay upfront for your package and enjoy total freedom. No commitments. Just simple, flexible plans that fit your life. Pick your power, Core, Edge, or Prime. Prepaid plans, ready when you ready. Commit to no commitments and get yours today. Dial 7526 or *100 key, use the Smart app, or visit a Gimme Dollar agent to purchase today. Smart, bringing people together.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Yes, sir. Yep, we're back. This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Hosting today, I am Mose, Hyde, and we have completed our early morning tasks. At least before we get into this, the business, opening on the shop for conversation right here on Creme Radio and on XTV. And we hope you know, if you've forgotten, that this is not about one preaching or one sermon. This is not a one-man show. This is a conversation, and it cannot be one without your participation. Like, we need to know to make it qualify as one legitimate conversation. That's why we have the phone. The phone number is 280-5848, and without you, it ain't the same. So, show up, show out, and do your thing. This is your conversation. Tuesday morning style. We have our first call. Creme, good morning, WUB.
Brother Mose, good morning.
Good morning.
I see the screen loaded background. Anyway, yeah. You know, the Constitution of the State of Belize ensures our rights and freedoms. Always. Among those, freedom to choose, meaning to select preference, freedom of expression, and so on. But it also tells us that no one is allowed or legally permitted, I understand, that such privileges prejudice the rights of others.
All right.
Believe we care less. We come in the morning, 2 o'clock, and slam the door. 3 passengers, 3 doors slam, I wake up. The morning, when I wake up, 2:33, what can you do? You don't have to bite your tongue. And so are the mufflers on motorcycles. And so are the buses that come from out the district. Apparently, when I reach, I get one code. It's very unfair. You have vehicles passing the 3 or 4 grade schools them on Princess Margaret Drive, from elementary to St. John's, Edward P.M. Nazarene, and the noise that is made there. I don't know how them kids study. You know, residences are not like before, where we separated only one child or 2 or 3 live with mama and papa. Yes, and then they study now. You got the exam. They're not like before. So we're very unreasonable. We never heart again. Look on what happened near in Bilmopan, some village. We come on the news that they set up a cement in black factory, and that thing make nice. So the people never tolerate it. What they went do? They went close it down. Is it fair to the industrious-minded individual? What can be done? You see? And listen, before I sit down, my friend, there is the so-called roundabout where I can circle immediately after I pass Benny's apartment on the northern road going to the airport. Man, that a circle, I said, please God, I left it like this. And I built on it, make it look just like John Smith and at Hatterville there on the Western Road. Man, from far, you could see if anything they come. I'll give you enough time for either break or...
So it look like the man, look like they put on a castle, you know?
I know they put one wrong thing, look like our empire.
I
like
tell you, it look like a castle in the building.
Something like that.
I completely agree with you that that's a waste of money and it's dumb. I completely agree with you, brother, that leaving that clear is the best thing. Put some plants down the bottom if that's the way you want to. But that huge cement thing within the building, that I don't know whose bright idea that is, but as far as bright idea go, that no have no lumens at all, 0 lumens, no brightness.
You come from Ladyville, you could see me, they come opposite you from the lead city, and Boris, But at this point, when they can't see
somebody make on eat cheese off, right? That's what it is.
Okay. I see.
Somebody
one other thing, Brother Mose, when I say these stupid spending, no, I can't prove otherwise, but it's stupid.
Yeah.
I tell myself, it was great to note, to hear, as a very great thinking that they locate Stella Maris School, okay, very important in society, in the same compound where the Teachers College used to be once. Man, now what occurs here is a heavy flow of pedestrian foot traffic. They're not going nowhere for, and just away nearing the police station to the back there, you see them in concrete on street. Nothing for pedestrian. You know how much people walk to healthcare partners, how much people use the road. Man, then they get trained for we youths and for we kids from the middle, go to school, kindergarten, what we call preschool, how to walk one street. They will walk 5, 6 abreast, my friend, and they no one move. And you tap your hand, and they no one move. You not blame them because that has become their walking habit. Nobody made them get by his name. I tell you, look on the word prejudice. As I said just now, they're not legally defined it yet. That should have been legally defined. I understand they got to exercise for 2 years on the Constitution, which I never did favor because we don't know what to be the makeup of beliefs after the ICJ make it legally and lawfully that beliefs. Or else we don't know what will be the makeup if we might. And we don't know. We can't tell. So I made it say words like these need to be defined and began teaching in schools. When they teach the Constitution, the school, I mean, all kind of thing. It reminds me of the sargassum that the key. You will hear all kind of thing now. We don't know if the sargassum still there. You know, inform public listening headache is over. I tell you, I don't know. But yes, thanks that you agree with me with that story.
Absolutely agree with you, Brother Torres. Give thanks for your call. Agree with you. Yes, man. This is WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. The telephone number is 280-5848. Nobody's opinion more important than anybody else's. That's how this works. We got our next call. Krem, good morning, WB.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Mose.
Yeah, man.
Good morning. I don't take much of your time because I got to make a run. But I call for alert the ministers them that won this election. They have made certain promises. And all I'm doing is trying to call to remind them that they made those promises. And if they can't go through the promise, they should have at least call or visit as they claim they would to tell the people or to give them an explanation. The election gone now over 2-3 months and you know hear from them again at all. So I just call to let them to alert them that there are people still waiting to see them or to hear from them.
All right, my brother.
Yeah, man. Straight up. Stay strong, thanks.
Yes, sir. The WB, all you need for the call, the number is 280-5848. How you link with this. Didn't get a chance to mention it. As we did yesterday, we are going to give away 2 more passes as you look on the bottom of the screen. If you're watching us on the streams on social media or seeing us on XTV, you can see that at the bottom of the screen. There is a thing called Punta Topia. It is Monday, November 17th. And it's at 6 in the evening, and it features some of the most iconic Punta rockers we have in the country. We have 2 passes to give away later on in the show, so make sure to stay in tune. Krem, good morning, WB.
Yeah, greetings, Brother Mose.
Greetings, man.
If I was that person that called yesterday, I won the tickets for the Punta.
Yes, sir.
I would have known that you wasn't there Wednesday neither last week. Yeah, and I don't got no TV. I only got one Lee radio I listen to every day.
I would have never attempted to try to trick you, you know, my brother. So you don't have to proclaim that you religiously tune into the program, because you call almost every morning, so we know that to be a fact, right? Respect.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a trick that I do, even like off air with somebody, with me people, and I understand. Like people, I don't want to disrespect it. I think people genuinely, it's a way of being nice. They see you and say, "Boy, I watch your show every morning," and I understand. I don't believe them most of the time. I don't think people really, very few people can schedule like that to upon and watch something every single morning. But I take it with a good energy that people want to tell you that, yo, you know, be kind. But just out of mischief, I would say, so where had I yesterday? And then they would have trip over and say, well, some man I never catch you that man in there. And say, okay. But I don't disrespect it, and I think it comes from a good place. I can put it that way.
Two things I'm gonna ask this morning. Do you hear some rumors that somebody went to Guatemala and visit Bodna?
I think that was in the news last week. Yeah,
but they didn't say much more further than that. I wanted to hear.
I think they said that
what they did.
Yeah, they didn't say much. I think they didn't get a very long meeting because it was not
of interest.
It was not a visit day or his visit time. So that's what happened. And they kind of mentioned that it was a rough jail that he's held. It's a rough jail.
That I know for a fact.
Yeah.
The entire Latin America have no sweetness when it comes to, the only place they got sweetness when it comes to prison, I believe.
Come on, I think jail are jail, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I accept that definitely some jails are worse, but I don't buy the idea that our jail is some kind of resort. I don't.
I would not say that, but I visited already Hacktiville many times. I went there and visiting.
I personally wouldn't want to spend a night there. So I wouldn't want to spend.
No, neither did I.
Yeah.
But comparing to what I saw in other places around
Central
America,
for sure,
I wouldn't want. I'd rather spend a week there than spend a day there.
I've watched several episodes of Locked Up Abroad. So I don't know if you ever watched that show when you could watch shows, my brother. But there was I don't know if it's still on. But back in the days, there was a show called Locked Up Abroad, and they would feature prisons from all around the world. And yeah, Latin America has some very unpleasant ones for sure.
Yeah. Okay. No, the other thing I heard that before, a couple callers before me mentioned about the noise of the buses and so on, motorcycle. But the thing I watched for quite a few years, the city buses, as I said, Belize city buses cannot reach beyond Pongyard Bridge. The farthest they could go is to the terminal, and that's it. But it's curious that the district buses, they go all the way to what do you call this area again, around for a Bliss Institute. They bring people, they drop people, they pick up people from the district, and some of them park by the water lane where that Mike's Club used to be. So I say, why is it that the district buses could go beyond the Pongyard Bridge, yet Belize City buses cannot go?
No. Belize City buses do go the canal side. So Belize City buses do go there. They don't only go up to Pongyard. So you can't.
No, I'm talking about the buses that come from Oak District. That's the one I'm talking about.
From Oak District?
The one that coming, let's say, coming from PG or Belmopan or the fire they go is just to the Pongyard Bridge, to the parking place. But the other districts, they go all the way into the city. So I don't understand why some are privileged.
I don't know. I don't know. They certainly have buses. They are in that open lot besides
by the bridge foot.
By the bridge foot. I would imagine that they get special authorization. Maybe that is a private space. I'm not sure about the ownership of that space. But they,
it is a private space. I know who owns it.
But they park in that lot. There are some buses occasionally that will be parked up
where Mike's Club used to be.
Up more towards the on Regent Street, Regent Street West. That me area. So I mean original area. But I can tell you that Belize, the buses that run in Belize City do run into that area. But buses maybe like that come from Belmopan, or you would not see a West Line bus there. You would not see a James bus there or anything like that. They don't come.
Exactly.
They don't come. I don't know. I think it's. I would have to ask somebody to find out how that is determined. No.
Maybe the same caller will call two people before me. You know, the one they always talk about traffic and this. I know the guy, but I know I'm calling him.
Tourist.
Yeah, I know him.
Okay.
I know him, but okay, my brother.
Give thanks
Have
for the
a good day. Respect.
Give thanks for the call. 24 minutes after 7 o'clock. It's the Tuesday morning edition of the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Telephone number 280-5848. That is the live line for you to participate in the conversation. We love when you call. In fact, it's how the show works. When you are not on, of course, we freestyle a bit, jump into things where we would like to raise to public attention and contribute to the public discourse. So we spent most, if not the entire morning yesterday, talking about this huge, disgusting reality of the government of Belize through the Attorney General's office pushing back on the office of the Ombudsman. And we went into the entire history of what has led to this. We spent, if you miss it, you miss it. I'm not about to do a reenactment of that. But to respond, because Minister Henry Charles Usher was in extended exchange with the media, with our news editor, the great Marisol Amaya, and he spoke on several things, both of which I want to engage on things that he said. And one of the first things I would say is that he made the big deal over the fact that the media is mischaracterizing what the government really is doing, and essentially saying that the media is kind of like blowing it up to say that the government is not taking the ombudsman to court. Well, I don't know which media has said that. It's not the government is taking the ombudsman to the court. No, the government is going to the court to challenge the ombudsman office on its request for it to provide information. There's no mischaracterization, at least that I am aware of. But I don't know what, it's kind of like, that's kind of like a red herring. Whether the media is, let us say we were, or let us say we are mischaracterizing what the government is doing. And it's not the government is taking the ombudsman to court. And I would never say that. The government is pushing back on the ombudsman in the court, legally. So you want to make your response and make the debate be about technicality as to how to describe a thing. And so if we say, well, the media has described it incorrectly in a way that is inaccurate, it it is a wrong description, wrong words. The debate about the words to describe what is being done, whether it is taking the ombudsman to court or using their right to legally push back on a decision made by the ombudsman, that is not the point. That is not the problem. The problem is that the government has decided, any which way you want to describe this, that it does not want to comply with what the ombudsman has requested. And that, Minister Henry Charles, is not a mischaracterization and cannot be disputed. And it's a waste of energy to have a debate about what it is to be described as, when the essence of the situation, the substance of this, cannot be disputed, cannot be denied. It's either the government is going to comply with the Ombudsman Office's request, or is going to fight it. A or B. That is what is the important thing here. And what Minister Henry Charles and what the government cannot say is an inaccurate description, is that the government does not want to, and it is using its legal options not to comply with it. If that description makes you more comfortable, good. It's more accurate for you, good. But that is not what you need to explain to the people of Belize. What needs to be explained to the people of Belize is not a lesson in what words or how to describe the government using its legal options to push back on the office of the Ombudsman. What needs to be responded to is why? Why, on what grounds do you feel it appropriate not to comply with a request for monies that were spent from out of the national coffers? That is the issue here. Any other issue you want to bring up is an issue of distraction. We don't have that quarrel over what are the best. Listen, any which way he walk like one duck and he quack like a duck, any other name you want to use, that's still a duck bedroom. So you could continue with that. What we want, the problem that we have here, sir, is that a basic, standard, decent ask, absolutely reasonable, constitutional, and fair. Monies were spent, and a citizen of Belize, not of a foreign nation, on whose behalf and all of our behalf that money was spent. And what we want to know is, why would that be a problem? In what universe is that problematic? Or it might be uncomfortable, because then what you have spent might be looked at by some people as being lacking in prudence, might be described as being wasteful, might be described as even grotesque. That's the right for citizens have an opinion on what is done in their names on their behalf. That's a free society, a free and open society, transparent and accountable. You see the word transparent, since we talk about words and language, since we were given a lesson on mischaracterization, let me bring up the understanding I have of the word transparent. See, I don't know, maybe it might have been in primary school, but for sure in my science class in high school, and so for most of you who took science in high school, you would know that you were introduced to 3 words in science: transparent, translucent, and opaque. Opaque means you can't see. It's like they give you examples of opaque. Like if you get a milk can, the can is opaque. You can't see the milk inside the can. Can't. The only way you see it, you have to pry. You have to pry it open, take off the top, then you could look in and you see, because it's opaque. Then they say translucent. That is something that is not completely opaque, but you can't really see inside of it well, right? So you would have something like, say, maybe like a white linen fabric. You could see shapes in there, but you can't really see clearly. You still again have to do prying or to see inside. And then you have transparent. And transparent, according to my first form science class, remembering my recollections of it, it means that you could look straight through it. Meaning, you don't have to pry. You don't have to do anything. Transparent things are like glass. You look straight through glass. The minute you have to make an effort to see if you could see through one thing, you're not transparent again. Transparent is not consistent with the requirement that effort has to come. So you cannot speak about transparency if the request for information becomes problematic. It means you are resisting. It means that you prefer an opaque environment. You like it sealed up. And that's the problem. See, transparency is not kind of like one halfway thing. Not halfway. The minute it becomes halfway, then transparency no longer exists. And while since I hear everybody talk about transparency, but nobody want to do transparency. Everybody speak about it. Everybody promise that. Everybody boasts about that, but nobody wants to live that. So that is the problem we have. That a citizen of Belize made a fair and reasonable request. This is not an intrusion into the private affairs of private individuals. A citizen of Belize has every right to make an inquiry and to make this request. It's decent, it's fair, in fact, it's healthy. It is absolutely healthy. The more citizens of Belize act like Brother Jerry Enriquez, the better we are. And the more cooperative those in power are to such requests, the better we are as a nation. The less cooperative they are, it means that we are in a terrible place. So that is the problem. It is not how the media describes the legal maneuver by the Attorney General and the government of Belize. That is, you want to become an English professor, which is okay. No, but what we really want to know though, when the essence of it is come down to it, has the government been cooperative with the request, the fair, decent, honorable request for information about how the country's monies, which are, as I mentioned yesterday, aka the people's monies, are spent? That is the problem. So the lecture on mischaracterization is neither here nor there. If you cannot dispel, dispute, deny the horrible fact that the government has chosen to not cooperate with Brother Enriquez and forcing Brother Enriquez to go to the office of the Ombudsman and then the government deciding, well, we don't agree that the Ombudsman we don't agree, we don't want to comply with what the Ombudsman is saying, so we have to take up all legal options. That is the problem. Cannot be disputed, has not been denied. Facts are, they say, are the most stubborn of things. And that is where we are. It is 7:39. I got to go to 2 Cents Cam. 2 Cents Cam is going to be followed by our first break. It's sponsored by Fort Point Security. We'll come back. We got more to talk about. Continue on other matters mentioned by Minister Henry Charles Usher. Right here inside the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We'll be right back.
Same question of the day, and I go wrong and find out if fish will be expensive for this 19th. You're watching WB and XTV. Make you go find out the people in 2 cents about the fish in the 19th. Fish going up for this 19th?
Of course, because then the fish don't really bite good and then gas stay to go up. You understand? And too much bad weather will throw you off out to sea and thing too.
Alright, so fish going up for the 19th?
Yeah, because right now we going out and bait hard for catch. It take we a whole half day for catch bait.
Alright.
So we burn one extra 2 gallons of gas just to catch bait.
Alright.
You understand?
That's your 2 cents.
Yeah, my 2 cents.
2 cents question there. You think fish going up for the 19th and why?
Well, definitely fish going up. You know, the 19, you know, them people don't like them fish. And right now, they say by the show and leave back and all these small thing, but later on, fish smart. You know, the 19 they go hide.
Wait, that's a good one. When the 19 they go hide?
They go hide because they don't know they got a price on their head.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I never hear one day. I never hear one day. Well, the fisherman they sell fish to the bite.
Well, they must still find fish.
Because they say I told you the weather.
They bite, they don't know whether the weather still got a lot of fish.
So you think they cut up the price intentionally then? You think they kind of say gas expensive?
Well, everything gone up, so.
All right. Why fish going up for 19?
Be real, I don't really want to talk about that.
All right, good. Yeah, for the 19, if I think fish going up, the price of fish.
Usually, yes, they raise it up, usually.
Why?
I don't know, but I sell it by the same price I sell it, but the buyer that buy it for me.
All right.
They raise it. No, we fishermen. They
raise it.
Yeah.
Oh, you sell it the regular price.
The regular price, and they raise it.
The people that buy you raise it.
They sell it double.
Double
the price. Yes.
Serious?
Yes.
So
That's a lie.
If you sell a pound, how much you sell a pound for?
I usually hagfish, I sell it $8 a pound.
All right. Straight.
The hagfish $8 a pound, I sell it, and snapper $7 something.
And they sell for $13 a pound.
Yeah. They are the ones that sell.
Yeah. All right. Good. Here 2 cents.
Tired of replacing light bulbs? LEDs are what you need. LEDs last up to 30,000 hours. That's 30 times longer than incandescent bulbs, and up to 8 times longer than compact fluorescents. So less changing and less trash. Planet Earth thanks you. And the LED experts at Brothers Habet and Habet will help you find the best LED solution with colors for every room and mood, starting as low as $6.95. You can even get LED strips for home, office, and industrial use. So say goodbye to fluorescent tubes forever. And because they use up to 90% less energy, you save money. Money you can spend on other things. So head to Brothers Habet or Habet today. You can also call, email, or Facebook us. Have a brilliant day.
I'm Randolph Friesen, and I manage Westwell Produce, better known as Granny's Foods. That's our main brand. So we offer high-quality grains, beans, rice, and we also offer corn chips made from 100% locally grown corn. We saw a need for high-quality, locally produced products. A lot of the best products are being exported, and we said, we need to keep some of the best products here in Belize rather than export everything. Atlantic Bank has helped us achieve our goals by providing the financing for us to be able to launch products faster than we would without the financing that they offer. We find that Atlantic Bank is very customer friendly, especially with small and medium-sized businesses. We find that Atlantic Bank is more than willing to go the extra mile. They try to understand your business. So when we go to Atlantic Bank with a certain need, we find that they try to develop a solution that will meet our specific need. I would encourage any small business owner to go to Atlantic Bank for their financial services. They're very friendly, and just overall, their service is excellent.
I'm super grateful for it because, paying rent, it's kind of hard. Sometimes you get paid and, everything almost goes to rent, and then you have kids and you have other stuff to do. So I'm super grateful and I'm really excited. Definitely bringing a great financial improvement, because now I feel like I would have extra cash to do more for my children, and also, probably do extra activities and take them out a little bit more often and so forth.
Miss Diego is one of our special cases because she was a hurricane victim and then she was a fire victim. So after she moved, after the hurricane happened, she moved into somewhere she was renting and that caught fire. So she had a double urgency to her application. I am very happy and very pleased to hand over this home to Ms. Diego on behalf of MIDH and Minister Espot, and along with her area representative, Deputy Prime Minister.
No amount of money we spend is enough, but no amount of money we spend is in vain when it comes to building houses for our people.
Welcome back to Decision 2025 on DDTV, tracking the choices that define Belize's future.
Leon, we have breaking news on what's happening across the country. This is just in. Belize has made its choice, and it's by a landslide.
That's incredible. Sherwin-Williams Paint is the undeniable front runner. From family homes to major projects, Belizeans has chosen the paint that delivers durability, bold color, top-tier quality. Oh, see, I'm getting some information here. Reports are flooding in. Neighborhoods across the country are choosing Sherwin-Williams paint and coating.
Meanwhile, the other brand, well, let's just say their numbers are fading faster than their paint. With superior coverage, long-lasting color, and a reputation that's trusted by Belizeans, it's no surprise.
No surprise whatsoever. The people have spoken. Sherwin-Williams wins by a landslide.
That's right. The people have spoken. And that's the latest on Decision 2025. Thanks for tuning in to DDTV. Until next time, Belize.
Until next time, see you then.
Want all the postpaid perks without the commitment? Now you can with Smart Supercharged prepaid plans. All the talk, text, and data you need. No contracts, no hassle. Pay upfront for your package and enjoy total freedom. No commitments, just simple, flexible plans that fit your life. Pick your power, core, edge, or prime. Prepaid plans ready when you ready. Commit to no commitments and get yours today. Dial 7526 or star 100 pound key, use the Smart app, or visit a Gimme Dollar agent to purchase today. Smart, bringing people together.
Yo.
All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Believes Morning Vibes. It's Tuesday morning, the 4th of November, 2025. I'm Mose. I'm hosting today. We, of course, host. You drive the conversation by simply making a phone call. The number to link us is 280-5848. That is the direct line for you to participate in the conversation. We love when you get in. Like I mentioned before we went to break, so that yesterday we spent a lot of time just really objecting on the whole debacle that has been created. It's really this whole situation at the core is the lack of good governance. And beyond that, just negligence to comply with what is required by our law. And we are talking here about the highest body responsible for the protection of laws. Laws are they're like the skeleton frame that society and nation state is built around. And so the lawmakers are the people who are elected, who are in the House of Representatives, and who make up not only the legislature, but ultimately in our system, the people from that are chosen to become the executive. They make laws, they write laws, they fix laws, they update, they amend. They're in the business of correcting and defending laws. So the last entity to be indifferent towards adhering and complying with the law, they're your lawmakers. If they don't want to have in our laws that there has to be a consistent process of adjustment to ensure that the electoral divisions, constituencies are as close to equal size as possible, if they don't want to do that and not be breaking the law, then they have the power to change that law, even if it would be completely ill-advised and would be an atrocious thing to do. But that is how they can get around not having to comply with that law. As long as that law is there, they have to comply with that law. And there's a good reason for that law to be in place. So that is the inception of this dilemma. This is where the conflict began. Governments have not attended to this requirement, this duty, this obligation. And they have been taken, they've been held to account by people movement. They've been taken and held to account by individual citizens. And so we have to, I hear to say, well, what is the reason why this is a problem? These are the questions that have to be answered by the government. This is the question that has to be answered by a minister who comes to describe the media's description as a mischaracterization. If it might be let us concede it may be a mischaracterization of what exactly is the legal option being used by the government, but ultimately there is no mischaracterization in what the government hopes to achieve by it, that is to prevent this information from being shared to the public or to be given to this individual citizen, which means it becomes public. And so the question that has to be answered is, but why a government or any official who believes in creating transparency and accountability, on what grounds? What is the reason? Why can't a citizen request and get the information as to what was spent on attorneys for a particular matter on behalf of the taxpayers of the country? What right do you have to deny that? It's just that you're in a position of power to do that? Because that's all it is. You're in a position of power of denying that, even if it's not consistent with the laws of the land. You have the power because you have the things in your hands. And so it is an exercise in absolute raw, ugly power. That's what it is. If you cannot present, what is your reason? This information should not be known. How does it jeopardize the operations of the government? How does it infringe? How does it infringe on anybody's rights? You say, well, the attorneys they have a right for their privacy. You are taking public monies. You don't have a right to think that, well, this transaction, you're taking public money. So fundamentally, any answer to be given to the people of Belize by any is to say on what grounds this information should not be shared. Is it some kind of confidential, classified information that jeopardizes our national security? Like that's a ground that is used legitimately. It's not all information can be shared. There's some information that cannot be shared to the public because it jeopardizes national security operations, law enforcement operations. Like, we get that. But the only thing that should be provided to us by the government is the only answer they need to provide is to on what grounds is this information being denied? You could say, oh, well, we question whether or not the ombudsman have the authority to make such a request. You cannot question whether or not the request for the information and the right to the information is illegitimate. You're looking for a technicality as to whether it is covered by the Ombudsman Act. Again, you're not taking on the issue here. That's the problem. So it's important to just say, listen, there's a lot of things being said that has nothing to do with what the real problem is. Krem, good morning, WUB.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mose.
Good morning, sir.
Bobby Lopez here, Mose.
Good morning.
Bobby, I want to say that it's not the first time that government has denied information that has been requested under the Freedom of Information Act. For years, we have written to the government asking for information as to who all have submitted their annual financials in accordance with the Prevention of Corruption Act. We have never, ever gotten a reply. I have visited the Secretariat, Ms. Chan, umpteen times. I believe she retired now. And she on her own can't disclose that. I remember there was one instance, I think it was about over 10 years ago, the U.S. State Department made a comment that less than 10% of those who are supposed to disclose by law, this is a law, they're supposed to disclose their finances, liabilities, everything every year and the year before they take office. It's a lot of less than 10%. There's 113 elected persons that are supposed to disclose by law every year. Because we need to know these people go into office and then get rich on the coffers of us, the taxpayers of this country. So the Freedom of Information Act was passed, and just like the signing of UNCAC 9 years ago, they signed something and nobody abides by it. It hasn't been enacted. They keep kicking the can down the road to fully implement UNCAC. So the Freedom of Information Act is just another act that was passed because it was something good to do, but nobody in government, no administration respects it, adheres to it, and discloses what is being asked for. What is so difficult? Tell us the millions. We're still in court, I mean, just like Brother Jerry, we're in court, and every time we go to court, it's the high-polluting, biggest law firms defending the government. What happened to their Attorney General Ministry? Yes, Ms. Matut shows up, but she's like on the sideline, and it's the big guys that are arguing for the government, and they only could beat we on technicalities, you know. Every time they kick our case out, and the country fails to realize we have been through 5 judges in 6 years fighting and asking both administrations to follow the law and to redistrict and let us have a fair democracy. Why do they deny that? Why do they deny the Belizean people that right so that every person's vote is equal? that's all Jerry and the Belize Peace Movement are fighting for. And Jerry and I, we're all on the same boat. All of us are on the same boat. It's just that we had to come up with another case to see if maybe that case would have done better given the circumstances leading up to the last election.
So yesterday I laid out that entire timeline as to the journey of the Belize Peace Movement. So I did a lot of that yesterday, Bobby, right? In fact, I spent a lot of yesterday kind of fleshing out the whole matter of the injustice of having these huge disparities between the size of the respective constituencies, and why the matter is important. I spent yesterday saying that what is really ridiculous here is that both in the case of the Belize Peace Movement and in the case of Brother Enriquez, is that none of this has any personal benefit to be accrued by any of the individuals involved. In fact, you are taking an L so that the nation of Belize becomes better and our democracy becomes healthier, and that we make one step towards becoming an equal and fair and just society. We are not. This is not an equal and fair and just society. It's absolutely not. I don't know if it has ever been, but we say we want to be. And if we say we want to be, then things like these are to be dealt with expeditiously. It shouldn't mean that you have citizens like yourself in Belize Peace Movement and Jerry Enriquez having to take up their money and their time, put themselves out there, and for what? To get our elected to do what is required by law. What makes this now just, this becomes so much an insult now that Mr. Enriquez, having faced, as you have faced, these attorneys that the government has used to push back on doing what is required by law, Mr. Enriquez says, well, tell the nation how much money you spent on those attorneys. Let the nation assess whether or not they agree with this, as the nation should have a right to be able to do it. Remember, it's not, as I said yesterday, it is not illegal that the government spent money on these attorneys. It is not illegal, whatever the amount they spent. But the question of whether it was prudent, whether it was responsible, whether it was intelligent to do, whether it was decent and honorable to do, and the judgment of that is on that judgment belongs to the people of Belize. And so to deny access to that information is to deny a fundamental right of the people of Belize to hold their elected officials accountable and the right to judge them. We have an absolute right to judge you, your conduct, your choices, your decisions. Nobody can come and ask me about XTV business unless they're a shareholder. This is a private business. They have made a choice to go into the business of serving the public and managing the public asset and managing the public's money. They chose this. This is not an inconvenience. It is not an infringement. It is not disrespect. In fact, this should be the norm. You are to live in a glass house financially when you become a part of the public domain. I can create opaque walls, but the public money should not be managed and accounted for behind cement walls. It has to be glass, it has to be transparent. If there's a request to know what was spent on attorneys, that is a fundamental, that is so basic. This is so basic. This is the ABCs. These are the 1, 2, 3 of transparency and accountability. Money spent on an attorney. Well, we spend on it. Well, we spend 10 million on it. Then the people have a right to say, man, uno spend $10 million to fight against Mr. Enriquez, to fight against Mr. Lopez, to fight against Belize Peace Movement, so that uno know do what is required by law and just fix these numbers because uno can't do it because uno afraid that this standard bearer or this representative will have one problem and that he can create one internal quarrel and uno don't know how to deal with that. That the horse then and go fat. Nobody cares. The internal discomfort by having to do what is required by law, that's not we concern. So you've chosen to prioritize your internal cohesion and politics at the expense of creating an equal and fair society. That is the problem that we have here. So you prioritize it to the point that you have taken the public funds to defend this position, to hire the biggest name brand attorneys that you can find, to fight against an outstanding effort of ordinary citizens to hold you to account. And now that they got their way, right? Bobby, they got their way. They were able to conduct the elections of 2025 without correcting it, because of spending this money. And so now that they have done this, Mr. Enriquez has said, well, since you were able to do it, let the nation see how you were able to do this, because you were able to put so much funds to these name brand attorneys. And then let the nation decide whether or not you did right. Remember, this is not illegal to do, but the judgment of it now, it's like you have a manager and the manager gonna spend $5,000 for a carpet-free office. Right? And your business not to make no lot of money, and your manager where you hire gonna spend $5,000 for one carpet, and so now you see this new carpet in this manager office, you own the business, and you tell the manager, I need to know how much you spend on this carpet, because carpet not that important to me. And you tell me in a way universe, you ask the manager to provide the invoice for the cost of that carpet, that manager could tell you that is not your business. Explain to me which universe that would be acceptable.
But you see, Mose, you're hitting the nail on the head. But the 4 fingers, as they always say, point back at each one of us. The onus and the responsibility falls on each one of us Belizeans who remain quiet, who remain complicit, who remain complacent in this fight. And I keep saying it, and as Mandela said, be the change you want to see. The change starts with each one of us, and I will leave this with you, Mose, and everybody heralds and admires and respects Bukele, what he has been able to do in a term and a half, but he was part and parcel of the 2 big party system in Salvador for years. He was mayor under one of the big parties, and then he realized he was being frustrated and held back from what he really wanted to do, and so he stepped out of hell, because when you're in hell, you can't change the devil in hell. He stepped out and created his own party called Nuevas Ideas, New Ideas. And implementing those new ideas, look what he's been able to do, man. I look at 7 plane loads of supplies and personnel that he's been able to send to Jamaica. Salvador used to be a beggar country. Now it's a donor country. We continue to be a beggar country in Belize. How good it would be if we could have sent so much rice and sugar and beans and personnel to our brothers and sisters in Jamaica suffering, but we don't even got for our own people because of corruption. Corruption, I keep saying it, corruption is destroying this country, and it continues, and the two parties are just different sides of the same coin, and nothing will change until the media starts to hold them accountable.
I am no fan of Bukele. I understand your point, and I will agree with the fundamental point that you made, that, as Sister Yaya says, only the people will save the people.
Exactly.
And that is why yesterday, as I've done on previous occasions, Brother Bobby said to the people, you cannot be quiet when you have these examples of citizen courage. I feel that we are consistently in spectator mode, and I guess there are different reasons for that, but we have to find ways through which we support those individual citizens who really step out. Like I've said, Belize Peace Movement, only could shut shop now. As individuals, you all have done beyond what is required per citizen in the name of rights and justice and reform. You all could now sit down on a veranda because of how much you all have done as a small group. You've been modest. You have not even said, the cost to you all as individuals, your personal private funds. Similarly, Mr. Enriquez has been out there. He has joined in. He's taken the Belize Peace Movement lead, and he's doing similar work. But how are we supporting that? Now we have this very rare sighting of an activated office of the Ombudsman. And we have an Ombudsman who has made a choice that is not towing the party line, even though it's obviously he has his credentials within the party. He has taken a choice not to toe the party line, and the way that the society is built, there will be consequences for that. But where are we when people stand on principle and stand with courage? We have to be accounted for. We have to be present, and we have to be in solidarity with that. Or else people in positions like these will say, when they're making their choices, I not be a hero, because nobody really cares about a hero. And then we lose people like yourselves who are willing to make the sacrifice, because the next generation of Bobby Lopez and Paul Morgan and everybody that's been involved, and the next generation of Jerry Newkers are going to say, I could sit it wrong, but I know to step out there. I know to put my head out there. I have to think about my family. I have to think about myself. We get up every day and we talk about things being so wrong. We talk about everything that is unhealthy. We have to learn to recognize those who, you could find fault with everybody on planet Earth. Who on planet Earth is without a fault? But when you're assessing what a person is doing, you have to be fair and say, is this something that is genuinely heroic, genuinely benefiting most without personal gain involved? And that, to my mind, the answer is absolutely yes. What you guys did, what Brother Enriquez is doing, I don't know that we as a community, as a public, have done anything what is required for support. Absolutely.
All right, brother. Well, but Mose, thanks again. But I just want the public to know that they may not have heard, but we are appealing our case. We're at that level right now where we are appealing because, as I said, every time we were kicked out, it was on simple technicalities because our attorneys missed some, didn't cross a T or dot an I, and they kicked it out. But on the fundamental issue of redistricting, both administrations agree it needs to be done, but neither one of them want to take it on and get it done. They keep kicking the can, and before you know it, the next election is here, and the status quo remains the same, and nothing changes. And so I call on the churches, NGOs, the unions, every Belizean. This is about our future democracy. We must have the right foundation in place, and it starts with one man, one vote. So please, do your part. Whatever it is you can do, voice it. Get out there and support and be a part of making a difference and get this country on the right road. I may not agree with everything Bukele does either, but I'll tell you one thing, man. I visited that country when it was war-ridden and gang-ridden, and I visited it twice in this year alone since he has cleaned it up. And I'm telling you, people are happy. You walk anywhere, anytime, nobody messes with you. They tell you it's safe, and it really is safe. And he has a zero policy on corruption, and that's what we need, zero policy on corruption. So I'm calling on Reverend Wade, who is now the senator for the churches, to set the example and put out his first financial. He has nothing to hide. So set the example and tell the rest of the senators and area reps and every city councillor and town councillor and mayor, 113 of them, including the president of the Senate and the Speaker of the House, are supposed to submit their annual financials under the Prevention of Corruption Act. December 9th, International Anti-Corruption Day is coming right around the corner within a month, and we need to turn this.
Well, you need to add to that in the absence of complying with it, in what can only be described as a small little improvement in trying to ensure integrity in public life, there is a fine for not doing it. And an argument can be made that while the fine is not big enough, the point though is that if you are in what's the word eludes me, if you are late, I don't know, if you have not done so for 2, 3, 4 years, it adds up to quite a sum. So I think there's also...
I wrote an article in the Amandala years ago, and I submitted it. It's in the millions of dollars, and in fact, I had called the article, "Pay Your Fine or Serve Your Time," because there's also not just a fine, a financial penalty, but there's also jail time that can be imposed. But who is going to force that? Who is going to put that down? But yes, so the first offense for not filing for a year is $3,000. The second offense is $5,000, but there's also $100 per day. So it's $36,500 plus the first $3,000, that's $38,500 for the first year that you failed to file, which is the year before you took office. And the second year, it jumps to plus 5,000. So now you have 41,500 plus the 38,500. You're done there close to $100,000 just for the 2 years. In the 5 years, you owe over $200,000 for not having filed, and that applies to every person in the town council, city council, House of Representatives, and Senate. So when you add up everybody, the 90% that refuse to comply, it's in the millions of dollars that they owe. So I had said, man, pay your fine or serve your time, but quit making a mockery out of the Prevention of Corruption Act.
Yeah.
You see? Other or CARICOM brothers, because this was a CARICOM initiative, the Prevention of Corruption Act was within CARICOM.
Yeah.
Man, they have departments that especially Trinidad and Tobago, they're really, really strong, and Barbados, very, very firm on compliance with the Prevention of Corruption Act to ensure that you're not being unlawfully enriched while in office.
And what's important, just before we go, Bobby, and I do have to go to break, is something I said yesterday, is that you can have the best things in black and white, without an activated public standing up to ensure that that new black and white lives, is alive, it's meaningless. The Integrity Act is not perfect, but when it was redone in 2007, it represented a bit of improvement in light of what had happened in 2005. And so they actually put, where there was gum, they put in teeth. And so it does have a bite, not a pit bull bite, but there is a bite. It does have a provision for the Integrity Commission to have a secretariat. And on that secretariat, there is supposed to be various positions involved with investigative work, both from a standpoint of a police officer, a lawyer, a finance, a account person. We have accepted that no government has allotted the funds required to set up that secretariat in budget after budget. In budget after budget, there's never been any money set aside to comply with what is in that act. It's like we do these things and we celebrate the legislative achievement, but if we are not going to ensure that it lives, then it wasn't worth anything. I think it's an important thing for us to understand that creating a healthy governance in your society is not, you can't do it without the public. The public can't be dormant. It just not happen. But give thanks, brother.
Respect, my brother. Respect. Have a good day.
We will go to a break and come back. This is the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes.
At Benny's, we have tiles to match any decor, whether it's classic, modern, or bold. Visit a Benny's store near you to meet with a sales representative that will assist you in calculating and selecting the right tiles for your floors and walls. Choose from our vast assortment of colors, textures, styles, and finishes. The perfect tile for every space at a price that can't be beat. Whether you're renovating your kitchen or finishing your ideal office space, Benny's Tile Gallery has it all. Benny's, quality and savings.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Sea una persona ocupada o atrapado en el tráfico, o que tenga una circunstancia adversa o muy exigente, la tensión se acumula y lo estresa. El estrés ataca a todos en cualquier momento, a cualquier edad. El estrés es un asesino. Es mejor estar vivo que muerto, así que visite la farmacia de Freetown para obtener opciones.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué puedo hacer para usted hoy?
Estoy bien estresado.
Ok, tengo una pastilla que te va a ayudar, ¿ok? Que toma una de estos al día para 10 días y va a estar bien después, ¿sabes?
Ok. Farmacia Fritón, carretera 28 Fritón, donde estás mejor vivo que muerto. Farmacia Fritón, teléfono 22 32 87 6.
All right. On the one fun day on, the window open and the light may turn off. You look like you listen to me, Jamie.
Not only that, I even get a new coffee mug, but keep my coffee hot all day.
I'm impressed. You don't look like you're so hard, yes?
Better than that, BL can change my meter to one of their new smart meter, they call it the AMI.
Oh, I hear about it on TV from a BL ad, you know.
Yes, man, it don't reach the money better to change it right now. Let's go check it out.
Hey guys, I'm almost done here.
So that when you reach my area,
we're upgrading meters across Belize. House by house, business by business. Always look out for BL logo, uniforms, and IDs. BL will make you know when we're in the area. The EMI meter rollout is a part of BL strategy to modernize our energy services.
You don't need to come in at my house, right?
Come in at your house, boss, only if you got something good for you.
BEL, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Mose, Hyde is in the house. We are, of course, open for conversation, which means that we want you call the number at 280-5848. That is direct number. Hopefully we'll get you on before we finish. We do have a couple breaks remaining because we kind of just abuse the time. Just on the bit. No, a lot. Alexi, right? Is it a lot? A lot. I like to say time abuse is significant this morning. But yeah, we've kind of done a second morning in a row. We've kind of spent significant time. This and the Budna topic that like chingom with chew for 2 days. You know, got no sugar, you know, got no flavor. But we still chew it, right? Every time it come up, we have to go back because we know, again, another thing what the media has done, besides mischaracterizing the issue of what they are doing in response to the office of the Ombudsman, the media is trying the Bodna case in a public, and by so doing, we have already jeopardize, we've already done a disservice to the whole legal proceedings. This is to paraphrase what has been said by Minister Henry Charles Usher in an interview that was done on our news. And so the media is at fault again in what it's saying, and the media needs to be careful. Because we're doing a disservice to this process. The media. So, without the media, I imagine that this would have been handled easier. Government never may have to stress about it at all. So in that regard, I can understand that the media has done a disservice to those who would have wanted it to go quietly into the night. And the media indeed has done a huge disservice to those who were a part of the conspiracy. We have done a great disservice to them. Again, just to repeat, this matter was already under the rug, and then the video, as acquired by Jules Vasquez on Channel 7, emerges. If not for that, it would have been, good night, that's it, it's done. Because there was not going to be anything, in fact. The nation was being lied to by the Commissioner of Police, and without the video, we could have a suspicion, but we would not have had the proof. And to make an argument now about the relevance of the office of the DPP after nearly 5 or whatever amount of weeks of not involving the office of the DPP is outrageous. Like, I'm sorry, you can't come tell me about the office of the DPP. No, because we will tell you about the office of the DPP day one. The office of the DPP was put on the sidelines, or put itself on the sidelines. I don't know which one. But the office of the DPP cannot now be held up as an example of doing the right thing after everything that has been transpired. It's crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. But because I have abused time today, I will take another break and come back. And remember that before 9 o'clock, we have to give away 2 tickets for Puntatopia. which features, of course, Chico Ramos, Miami, Moho Bob, Adrian the Dark, Vida, Super G, Sweet Pain 3.0, Era Dramas. It's at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, Monday, November the 17th at 6 in the evening until 12. Kananka Martini special, but Dabash. And of course, you will hear a lot about it going forward. We hope that you are making your plans. Check in. Tickets are available at Mandala Press, Madisco, American Closeout, and Alpha Male. So you have many ways, and of course, for those who understand Quick Pass, which is that a thing now, for everybody who are digitally oriented and properly got a digital game together, well, we understand you could just go right on your phone and get your ticket. Quick Pass, that's the thing. 2025, AI. Guess what? I'm going to break, we come back.
This project represents a powerful step in transforming how we prepare our young people for the workforce of tomorrow. A workforce that must be ready to thrive in the fourth industrial revolution, where creativity, digital literacy, and technical skills are key to national progress and development.
The design of the facility itself embodies sustainability. It will integrate climate resilient and green building architecture, meeting EDGE certification standards. Inside, classrooms and laboratories will be equipped for hands-on, industry-relevant training in areas such as renewable energy, marine resource management, and sustainable construction.
This program's objective is to close the skills gap by 1, increasing access to foundational learning, expanding opportunities to learn the fourth industrial revolution skills for the digital, green, and blue economies, as was shared earlier, promoting inclusive and gender-responsive education for all Belizeans. To our students, it is an investment in your potential, your dreams, and your future.
I'm Randall Friesen and I manage Westwell Produce, better known as Granny's Foods. That's our main brand. So we offer high quality grains, beans, rice, and we also offer corn chips made from 100% locally grown corn. We saw a need for high quality locally produced products. A lot of the best products are being exported, and we said, we need to keep some of the best products here in Belize rather than export everything. Atlantic Bank has helped us achieve our goals by providing the financing for us to be able to launch products faster than we would without the financing that they offer. We find that Atlantic Bank is very customer friendly, especially with small and medium-sized businesses. We find that Atlantic Bank is more than willing to go the extra mile. They try to understand your business. So when we go to Atlantic Bank with a certain need, we find that they try to develop a solution that will meet our specific need. I would encourage any small business owner to go to Atlantic Bank for their financial services. They're very friendly, and just overall, their service is excellent.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale, Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
It's here, the biggest sale of the year at Builders Hardware from October 15th to December 31st. Find your happy place with 10% off appliances, 20% off paint, and a whopping 25% off paint supplies, light, fans, AC, and tiles. Plus, enjoy 30 to 50% off selective items. That's not all. From sand and gravel to blocks and roofing, we got everything you need from construction start to finish. Builders Hardware in Belmopan. This is your happy place.
All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Mose Hyde here in the house on this Tuesday morning. We don't have a lot of time remaining, and I do have to keep my promise of giving away 2 passes to Punta Topia on November 17th. It's Monday, 6 in the evening, Belize Airport parking lot, Airport Authority parking lot. This question is maybe a little trickier than yesterday's question, but still, the reason why I'm making it tricky is that I want somebody who have when know Punta Rock, know the energy, know the industry, know the reality. So you have to know a little bit here, but it's not difficult. But can you could guess the answer. But I will hope that somebody will know. All right. There is one artist on the lineup for Punta Topia who has not performed for a very long time. And if you're a real Punta Rock fan and you're a newbie, as they call it, then you know the answer to that question. And for the right answer, you win 2 tickets. The number is 2805848. There is one artist on the lineup for Punta Topia who has not performed here in town for a very long time, and in fact is coming back to the game, and that's something you're going to hear about. But you look on that list of performers and you tell me which one of them has been away from the game for a while, and you win the passes. I mean, it's tricky, but it's not difficult when you go to think about it. And so I'm going to pretend like it's like some kind of astrophysics question, right? Make we go here now. Krem, good morning, WUB.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to answer a question at more.
You want to answer it?
Yes.
All right, I want you to answer it.
The answer is Vida?
Huh?
Vida?
Vida?
Vida.
Vida?
Vida. Vida.
Nah. Vida been away from the game. Vida got a state slot, but Vida has not been from the game. I mean, big up Vida.
Okay.
But give thanks. Vida been away from the game. Nah. Vida newbie almost. Yeah, and a new generation. It's not difficult. It's tricky. At least a little trickier than yesterday. Yesterday one I'm gonna just give it 3 of the artists. But give thanks for trying. We don't have a lot of time remaining, so if you want to win their 2 passes before I get out of the house, you gotta call now. The number is 2805848. We hope that somebody not just guess, but if you don't guess, because you know, like I want to repeat the question, is that one of the artists on the lineup of great Punta Rockers. And actually, an argument can be made that there are 2 artists on that lineup that have not really been in the game. Well, I'll say maybe, yeah. Krem, good morning.
Hi, I'm calling to try for the answer.
Well, I hope you have the answer.
All right. Is it? Sorry.
Is it who?
Adrian the Duck Martinez.
Oh, okay. Actually, I would have had to give the pass if you had said Mohobo, but I was looking for Adrian the Duck, who we are very excited that this is the show that he is returning to performing, and actually you're going to hear more about that because we have an interview with Adrian the Duck. But indeed, Adrian the Duck is one of the most spectacular voices in Punta Rock when he was doing his thing, and then he kind of, as he said in an interview I did with him, he decided that he had to be there for his family, and he does teach. He's a teacher, and so he's kind of been away for almost 20 years, and this is the show that he returns. He says, and you're going to hear it in the interview, that this is the last time he's going to do the Dr. Daya performance, and then his new stuff is going to come after this. So we are definitely excited about Adrian the Dark coming back into the game, and I want to get your name because you have won 2 tickets.
Ronald Stewart.
Huh?
Ronald Stewart.
Ronald Stewart. You are a Punta Rock fan, I hope.
Yes, much.
All right, because indeed, so did you guess though? That's a question I really want to ask. Did you guess or did you?
No, I looked at the player and recognized that I haven't seen him perform for quite a while.
That's right. I'm glad that somebody will do the proper assessment. You can come and get your tickets, Brother Stewart, right here at the compound, okay?
Okay, at the security or in the studio?
Huh?
At the security booth?
At Creme Radio, just
okay.
Second flat, yeah. All right.
I probably gonna leave it with Frisco for me.
Oh, okay. All right. Frisco your body like that? Okay, cool.
Yeah, man, thanks.
All right, respect. We go to a final break, we'll come back and wrap.
I'm Randall Friesen and I manage Westwell Produce, better known as Granny's Foods. That's our main brand. So we offer high quality grains, beans, rice, and we also offer corn chips made from 100% locally grown corn. We saw a need for high quality locally produced products. A lot of the best products are being exported, and we said, we need to keep some of the best products here in Belize rather than export everything. Atlantic Bank has helped us achieve our goals by providing the financing for us to be able to launch products faster than we would without the financing that they offer. We find that Atlantic Bank is very customer friendly, especially with small and medium-sized businesses. We find that Atlantic Bank is more than willing to go the extra mile. They try to understand your business. So when we go to Atlantic Bank with a certain need, we find that they try to develop a solution that will meet our specific need. I would encourage any small business owner to go to Atlantic Bank for their financial services. They're very friendly, and just overall, their service is excellent.
When working with sheetrock, you need screws that give you quick penetration for a speedy, stable installation. Best Screws, fast frame and fast finish drywall screws are specifically designed for you. Engineered by Best Manufacturing, Best Screws makes every job faster and easier. These screws offer reliable performance with a superior hold. You also save money due to Best Screws affordability. They are cheaper than the leading brands. Get the job done quickly without compromising on strength. For all your drywall installations, get Best Screws Fast Frame and Fast Finish. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
When Shell V-Power flows through your engine, confidence flows through you. Choose the fuel that 100% cleans critical engine parts and keeps your engine performing like new.
After 9, we're out of here. Give thanks for everybody who take the time out for the way, and actually to those who called. And of course to the team behind the scene at Creme Radio, Lawrence, Larry G, and at XTV, the Glue, Cliff, Lewis, Pacliff, and directing this morning, Mr. Alexi Belay. Hope you have a great Tuesday. With Health and Shell, I return tomorrow morning at 6:30 for the Wednesday morning edition of the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. As always, stand strong, stand firm. For now, we're gone.
Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling.